Alright, you guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we are back once again for another Who Should You BT Plus. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Firion and Locke. Now, these two characters are some very good BT Plus units, so I feel like some players may or may not have a hard time in trying to decide who they would consider BT Plusing, whether they want themselves a strong support DPS character like Firion, or if they want a very versatile character like Locke. So we're going to go over what these two characters are going to be getting, and then towards the end of the video, me and Kaiden will let you guys know who we are considering BT Plusing between these two units. Now, we're going to be doing something a little bit different with this video, where instead of me like covering not only what these characters are going to be getting with their changes and whatnot, but we're going to like mix it up in a way, and we're going to be like talking to each other between all sections of the video, kind of, you know, to mix up things, see how you guys feel about it. If there's something that you want us to continue doing, or if you just want us to go back to the old format, that works as well. So I'd really appreciate the feedback on that. Like I say, I'm trying to just to like in a way experiment and see like what actually works and what people enjoy more and whatnot. So there won't be any slides in this video because there would be a crap ton to actually cover. So what I'm going to be doing is, while I'm talking and trying to go over what these two characters are getting, I'm going to summarize everything so that way things can be much easier for you guys to be able to understand, so that way you know exactly what you're getting out of either of these two characters. So as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Make sure to check out Kaiden's channel. That link will be down in the description as well. If you guys want to join my Discord server, that link will also be down in the description of this video or in the pinned comment, either or. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's talk about Firion, Locke, and then we'll let you guys know who we are planning to BT Plus. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to do something a little bit different just because I'm trying to, I guess, experiment in a way, where in this Who Should You BT Plus, we are going to be talking, we're going to be talking at the same time. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. And if it, if it goes well, maybe we might continue. It just depends on how Kaiden feels. So hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm happy that I'm no longer in your basement. Thank you very much for letting me out. It's been a while since I actually seen the sun, apparently. But hello, guys. Good to be back.
God, I hope nobody takes that seriously.
No, Ross has definitely been keeping me in his basement. He's been asking me to give him tactics help. I don't know why. I just live here now. It's just, it's okay.
Look, he needed a home. The basement was the only place that I had, and I had to put him in there, so...
I have questions.
But anyways, though, so yeah, like I said, we're gonna be talking at the same time, kind of like, backing each other up in between what we're talking about, and adding in a few different things as we are going over Firion and Locke. So we're gonna start off with Firion. One of the things with Firion that I will talk about is going to be his rework to his skills. So his seize attack did get more HP dumps, now being 3 HP dumps, with a big amount of potency increase in between the attacks. He does recover Brave in between his attacks, except for his last, and he now deals 50% splash HP damage. And then Seize attack plus Blood Weapon. The only difference there is that you do allow for 180% stolen max Brave overflow. So if you prep him up right, he can potentially cap out on his damage. Now with his blood weapon attack did get an increase in HP dumps, but only got an increase with 2. But he does increase his Brave by 100% of his attack before he deals those HP attacks, and he does increase his Brave in between those HP, I guess like the 1 HP attack, in between his HP attacks. I don't know, I got stuck there. But yeah, except for his last one.
No. I was just like, Loss is going on he's going full on detailed spicy. I appreciate this.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that there's a lot of work to do. If I were to do slides to this, it'd be a lot of work. So we're gonna make it a little bit easier on myself and just kind of go over what the City of Compendium has. But I kind of like summarize it for you guys so that way you won't be confused by the tremendous amount of text that it has on here. His LD, his LD did get a rework as well. With his LD, it got more HP dumps on it. So now it has 4 HP dumps. He does recover Brave in between those HP dumps, except for the last. Now, with his buff Blood Weapon, the buff with his LD board extension, he does get a 40% Brave damage up and a 20% HP damage up. And then with his trap got an additional HP dump, and he is able to recover Brave after the first HP dump, but it doesn't affect on the last one.
Looking at this setup that we have going on, as Lost said earlier, talking about Firion's kit, I definitely think that with this rework that he's going to be getting going into a C90, he definitely has a lot more to offer to the team as far as like not only just healing wise, but he has a lot more going on damage wise now. A lot of his skills were doing like 1 HP hits here and there. I think I believe his blood weapon from before it had 2 HP hits. But that's like the minor rework that he got from before. We're talking about pretty decent damage overall now. He has a lot of on-turn damage, and especially him being able to do off-turn damage. And that the 2 HP dump follow-up or on enemy turns actually helps out tremendously. For me personally, looking at him, looking at what he's able to do, and on top of that the trap going off with his BT effect active. We haven't talked about his BT yet, but it does really, really nice, fun things all the way around. I enjoy it.
Yes, yeah, it definitely does. His EX ability did get changed as well, seeing as how he is getting his C90. So now his EX ability is going to deal 2 HP dumps now, but when it comes to Brave hits, his Brave hits also got changed as well, because now it is a 4 hits AoE ranged Brave instead of the previous 8 hit, but you are gaining that additional HP dump, and he is also recovering Brave after his first HP attack. With his plus version, there's really not too much of a difference aside from an increase in the amount of Brave damage or Brave potency that he is dealing. And then with his buff that he gets from his EX gives him a Brave regen based on 40% of his initial Brave, and he also gets an initial Brave up by 40%. So that's going to help him with his overall kit.
I think so. 100%. I definitely like the fact that he actually got that added on to his kit. He needed a little bit of help before, and it's like the C90 is definitely being extremely nice to him and covering up a lot of his blaring weaknesses.
Oh yeah, which makes him so much better by opinion. But we'll get into that in just a sec. His C65 got extended by 2 turns, now being at 6, and it also gives him a small attack up and gained max Brave overflow up by 20%. His BT now got extended if you do decide that you want to BT plus him. At 2 out of 3, his BT effect got extended by 2, so now it is at 6 actions. And if you do decide to BT plus him, Square lowers the HP condition of all effects to when the HP is greater than 50% or max, because previously with his original BT effect, you had to have 100%, or you basically had to be fully healed to get the effects that Firion offer, which was that max Brave up and that Brave regen based off 200% of their initial Brave, with being able to have a small battery based on the HP damage dealt onto the enemies. But now they lowered it to 50%, which is a very good thing. But with that, they also gave the party max Brave cap up by 20% and party Brave gains up by 50%. Now, I know that some people are going to be like, well, it doesn't really matter with the whole quote-unquote garbage era that everybody's calling it right now, seeing as how fights are going to be much more easier. But best believe for the future, or for any new player who has just joined and decided to pick up Firion, best believe for all the content that does have strong Brave reductions and whatnot, that Brave gains up is going to help you out a lot.
That's the reason why you're still so revered. But the differences between the two is that Y'shtola has an additional condition where you have to be over the initial Brave cap, where Firion needs you to actually be above 50% of max HP.
Yeah.
So, like, at that point, they both have very similar gimmicks, but at the exact same time, they do different things. Especially damage-wise, it's very, very easy to heal with Firion, and Firion has the ability to really take care of the entire team. I have seen him in runs where he has definitely was able to keep the party alive by himself in the team.
Oh,
it doesn't hurt to have an additional healer, but Firion does very, very well with his healing capability. He's no longer the selfish healer. He actually has group healing built into him, so he's nice.
No, yeah, and like the great thing about him, like if we're gonna talk about like pros about him, is definitely gonna be like those traps now, being able to dish out more damage, which, if I'm not mistaken, does in turn equal more healing for the party. So, like being in those type of situations where, like, say you're facing 2 or more enemies and they love to HP attack you, like Firion's trap will keep you safe. But of course, that depends on how much HP attacks that you are taking, though. One of the big things I do love about Firion is like the potency increase that he got really surprised me. I was really surprised with how good of a rework and whatnot Firion got with his overall kit now that he got his C90 and his BT plus. I was very excited just knowing the fact that after God knows how long, Firion was finally getting some love, and everybody on the JP side was super excited about it. But with Firion, though, like the fact that like he is able to battery the party, heal the party with basically, practically almost all of his attacks, like just makes him such a viable character to have in your team comps. And now with his BT plus effect, having that Brave gains up, I mean, the amount of team comps that you can actually throw Firion in, as long as, if you are able to like pair him up with like, say, like a turn hogger, to try to extend that BT effect as much as you can, will really help you out in the fight. Even though we are in the, I guess like the quote unquote like the doo-doo era. I'm gonna start calling it that, the doo-doo era.
I'm garbage time, so that way Nino has his thing.
Well, garbage time, doo-doo era, same. I mean, close enough, right?
Fair enough. I guess it is what it is.
So, but with having everything that he has, Firion is an excellent option in my opinion. With what he is getting in terms of like damage, support, so on and so forth. I mean, like, what you think?
Well, as far as Firion goes, I definitely think that he is very self-sufficient now with his BT effect active. Without this BT effect, it gets very chaotic. So don't get me wrong, he definitely got a nice rework to his base kit, but as all things DPS wise, it's go big or go home with DPS. And with Firion, if you make the proper investments into him and actually having him in the proper team comps, he will do damage. However, I feel like when it does come down to him, Firion is not one of the easiest just plug and go type of units, just because of the fact that Firion has a lot of on-turn damage, as we stated from before, and on top of that, C90 definitely adds a lot to him. It especially changes up his EX as well. His EX actually feels really, really good to press. However, his trap damage, like all things, are going to be on enemy turns, so you have to plan around enemies actually moving in order to actually take advantage of his trap going off. If you're not letting his trap go off, it can be kind of a bad time, because the damage that he would be doing would not necessarily be as high if you're not letting the boss move. You pretty much just took up a debuff slot. Pretty much, yeah. Kind of mind when it does come down to Firion. But he is very, very self-sufficient, and he does decently in the team. I would say the only bad thing that I would definitely say more than anything else is that if you come across an enemy that has really, really high defense stats, defense down still matters. Just because we are in garbage era or garbage time, however you want to put it, defense down still matters. Definitely still bring an enchanter for him, so that way he's able to really maximize his damage on enemy turns and on his own personal turn. But as we said before, with his BT effect active, he becomes very, very self-sufficient while it's active. When it is not active, you will see a night and day difference.
俺たちにはやらなければならないことがある。やれるな。存分に燃えたぎれ。もう
So now we're going to be talking about Locke, one of my mod's favorite characters.
I thought we were Wait, hold a moment. You talking about Zeta Kai? I thought he was a Gundam. Not? You lied to me.
Shut up. You see, for those who have reached this point in the video, this is what I put up with every day.
Bruh.
All right. So with his skills, because he does get a rework. So his Phoenix Ray, his skill 2, did get an additional HP dump, and he does recover Brave after the first HP dump, but he does recover Party Brave after the last HP dump, which is nice. So he's able to somewhat battery the party just a little bit. With his skill 1, Sneak Slash, there's a whole bunch to it, but to summarize what he is getting. So with Sneak Slash, he has a total of 2 HP dumps. He does have 150% stolen max Brave overflow, and he does remove the basically he just resets Genji Glove or Miracle Shoes and refreshes it pretty much. So which refreshes it at 5 turns for either of those 2 buffs. But the plus version did get an increase in potency, just as much as or about the same as much as the regular version, but it does 4 HP dumps in total with a Brave potency of 100% per hit, and it does allow for 150% stolen max Brave overflow. Now, afterwards, after using his Sneak Slash, the HP attack plus Genji Glove did also get changed up as well, which basically got an increase in Brave hits plus an HP attack, and does increase your EX recast gauge by 20%. And then the HP attack plus Miracle Shoes becomes a 3-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack. It does allow for overflow, it does extend active buffs by 1, and it does upgrade his Sneak Slash to Sneak Slash Plus after usage. And then with the Miracle Shoes buff, it did get Brave damage resist up by 70% and HP damage resist up by 100%. His EX now deals a 3-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 4 times, and then while you have Genji Glove active, it does grant you the Genji Glove X Master Scrolls buff, which is that powerful HP attack that I believe everybody recognizes what or knows what that attack is. But if you do have Miracle Shoes active, it grants priority to the HP attack plus Miracle Shoes. So that's really about the only big thing, noticeable thing with his EX ability.
Miracle Shoes buff is actually kind of funny because it gives a 100% HP damage mitigation. So
yeah,
have fun with that, kiddos.
His C65 actually got a pretty good change. So it cleanses all debuffs. It reduces the target's Brave by 100%. It dispels 4 buffs from the target, and it grants him the Steel Item A for 4 turns, which gives him a 30% attack up and a 30% Brave damage cap up. His LD ability, sorry, we had a joke in between there. His LD ability now is well, not really now because he never had it before, but his LD ability is a 3-hit AoE melee Brave plus an AoE HP attack 4 times. Now, one thing to know about this attack is that it does deal splits HP damage on the first 3 HP attacks, but on the final one, it does deal AoE HP damage. So it does 4 HP damage on the last one. He does increase Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last, and he does grant a decent amount of things with his LD ability. So he grants the Brigand Glove and Thieves Bracer, the Genji Glove, and the Master Scrolls. Now, the Genji Glove and the Master Scrolls is what you need to activate the powerful HP command that he gets out of using his LD ability. So the Brigand's Glove and Thieves Bracer gives him a max Brave up, attack up, and speed up, and it upgrades his Brave attack command to Mug Thieves Bracer. The Genji Glove and Master Scrolls, I think everybody is pretty familiar with what it does, so I'm not going to go over that, except that, well, actually, no, I already covered that earlier. The overhead that he now gets gives him stolen brave damage up, stolen max brave overflow up, HP damage up. He does retain 20% of the brave when using HP attacks, but with his LD boards, that becomes 40% now. And then while the Brigand's Glove and Thief's Bracer or Brigand's Glove is active, he does get a 50% brave damage up, and they also added stolen brave damage up by 20%.
I appreciate that, man, because wow, he goes from being very okay at his role to being very, very slap happy with his DPS role now.
Exactly.
Don't worry, we haven't talked about his BT just yet, but he has utility. I promise you, he has utility. But with these upgrades that he did get, though, he definitely shines a little bit more. His LD and his LD and his new HP command, the one that you really, really want, is going to be Miracle Shoes. ... But I joke. The one that you really, really want is going to be the Master Scroll, and you definitely want the Genji Glove to be attached, because that HP command really does hurt. It has the possibility to hit a mill, but again, he is able to retain 40% of his. He's able to retain 40% of his brave during his HP attacks from here on out. Once you actually have his things rolling, so ideally he can cap, but you want to make sure that he's capping his HP damage every single time in order to really be able to get that 1 mil damage from him.
Yep.
Every 1 mil damage dealer that we have so far, the ones we all know about, Machina, Locke, and Null, they have to have some type of help hitting those marks. But if you have the units and if you have the units and the team members who can help them hit those caps, they are pretty much good to go. And Locke is just very, 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 very self-sufficient. Not only that, but again, how we have his BT partner with the Firion. As we said before, Firion can be very self-sufficient. Locke is okay. I'm trying my best to not talk about, but I'm trying my best to not. I have to be neutral here. He definitely has weaknesses. If you just have LD only, Locke, it gets, again, night and day. But he's able to perform his job well. The EX button, my God, gorgeous button to press now. I enjoy seeing this guy zip across the screen and just killing things as he goes. I appreciate that. Let's see, the skill 1 and skill 2 though, those are nice touch-ups. I think that his C90 touch-up is extremely nice. I think he got the good between these two characters in particular, because Firion didn't have his LD boards from before, and now he gets them now. Thank God. It took ages, but he's here now. But Locke needed some love, and Locke got love here. I appreciate that. Now, this is my part. Let me have this.
Dun.
This is my part. So now we get to talk about the infamous BT itself, and this one has been known all around the world. In case you lived under Locke, maybe you don't like looking at JP information. That's fine. I don't like looking at JP information all the time, but his is a very, very his is a very nice thing. I appreciate this. So we'll start from the top. When his BT effect is active, the party, first and foremost, cannot be broken by anything at all whatsoever.
Nope.
So as long as he's in the team and his BT effect is active, you are not being broken. He kind of has the Ursula effect to some degree. Where Ursula has it in her kit, he needs his BT to have this effect. Just keep that in mind, guys. He has the stolen max brave overflow. He also has the brave damage cap up, and then he also has brave damage increase. So he has a lot going towards brave damage. If you actually go towards, there is also another thing as well. If you can, and this is a very tricky situation, if you find yourself taking HP damage and you do get below 50%, as long as you don't go to 0, Locke's BT effect will bring you back up to 50% of your HP. So Locke has a very safety net feature in his BT effect. Not only, this is where his utility really, really kicks in. Not only can he heal in his own personal kit, but his burst effect heals for him. So that way you don't have to necessarily worry about too many things going on. The only time that you actually have to really, really worry about HP damage is if you're going to be getting hit down to 0. That is when you need to pay attention. But yeah. Locke enables some very, very hefty damage. And on top of that, the absolute icing on the cake is that it has defense ignore. and all of that built into this one BT effect. My God. Let's see here. So when it does come down to it, this BT effect doesn't stack with other BT effects. It just needs to be him, so please keep that in mind. But ideally, with him being on the team, him being on the field in the main team, he's able to provide a lot for the team. I really, really think overall, if you're going to roll with a BT unit, and if you get Locke, definitely for sure, he can definitely help out. However, you can still die with him in the team if you don't have last stand. So there's ways to, like, he does have a lot of pros, but then he does have cons too. You can still technically be killed with his BT effect active.
Yeah, you can. Like if the enemy is like all of a sudden like deciding, hey, I don't have just 1 HP dumps, I have 2. And if it's a really hard hitting, then yeah, you're screwed.
Oh, but we definitely should be talking about this. So when you do go into the BT plus with him, like once you actually have the plus, you get an additional Max Brave Stolen Overflow up. And on top of that, you get the additional Max Brave cap up as well. Max Brave damage cap up as well. So you do have that going with him. Both of Firion and Locke have the Brave damage increases for the team, but Firion is definitely more for the Brave gain up, and he also has Brave damage, and on top of that, he has Brave refund as long as you're above 50%. And Locke is just, he enables a lot of shenanigans. Locke just enables some very, very weird things. However, I definitely would think about it from this fashion again. Those two working together, if you do have those two, they work extremely well together. Locke will keep the group from being broken, and on top of that, Firion will be able to keep the group healthy at the end of bosses' maneuvers, so that way you're always able to keep your HP high enough to where you won't get smacked down to 0. Hopefully, that would be the case. But the team comps that we run nowadays, trust me, everybody has some form of HP mitigation or HP reduction, ideally. But as I stated before, where Firion needs defense down, Locke needs a last stand unit. Because if like Locke enables reckless gameplay, and a lot of people tend to forget about the fact that like his BT effect is nice, but you still can't make lots of bad misplays with Locke being in a team. Locke enables, like, he can enable you, but he can't save bad play. Keep that in mind.
So we're going to end off the video now letting you guys know who we are considering BT plusing out of the pair that we just talked about. So I kind of feel like that, you know, I think a lot of people in the comment section of my videos who have been hyped for Locke are going to be saying Locke 100%. But I feel like there's definitely going to be some Firion users out there that are going to say Firion as well. Or maybe even both. You never know. But for myself, I'm going to go all out with these two pairs. With this pair of I can't English. I think everybody knows that by now. But no, I am actually going to be going all out on this pair of BT units, and I'm actually going to BT plus both because one, I really loved how they did Firion. Like, I was very happy with how they did Firion. I took Firion to a whole bunch of Lufenia fights. I was able to, you know, get the maximum output out of him, and I was very satisfied with how they did Firion. I love the fact that I'm able to get a good amount of battery here and there. I'm able to get some healing, so I can feel a little bit more comfortable within fights if I do decide not to bring a tank. There was a lot about Firion that I really enjoy. Like, one of the big things definitely is going to be once he gets his BT effect active. Yeah. That like we mentioned earlier in the video, the difference is definitely night and day with his BT plus. So definitely going for Firion. I do have his BT, so I just got to BT plus it. For Locke though, I will be BT plusing him this time. I didn't in JP. I think I only threw a book at him because I think at the time, I don't know what because I didn't get his BT until towards the end of his synergy cycle. So I missed out on all the lovely shenanigans that he has with his BT effect. But no, I mean, from what I have seen and like with how powerful his BT effect is, especially for newer players who like are just now starting the game, because I am assuming that this is going to be released with the start of Anniversary. So you know, with how things are going to be and whatnot, like his BT effect and what he offers now, and him being part of the potential 1 mil trio, yeah, no, Locke is definitely getting BT plus as well. So I'll be pulling for his BT and his LD whenever they both drop.
Oh man, lost on a real meta over there. Anyway,
I'm being meta for 2 weeks. Leave me alone.
I joke, man. I joke.
I know.
And I can't believe Zeta Kai is going to be very happy with how you talked about his favorite. Wait, yeah, no, the Gundam. Yeah, Zeta Kai, the Gundam, is going to be very happy with how you talked about his favorite.
He's going to watch this video and be like, what the hell are they talking about?
I don't know. But for me, if I had to pick one, because I don't have neither of their BTs, obviously I can't get Locke unless I jump forward in time. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. But in my head, I know which one I want to go with, but Firion, after like actually sitting down and studying him and researching him and actually looking at him in combat, Firion seems extremely fun. I think when it does come down to him, I feel like with the team comps that you do run with him, as long as there isn't like a lot, like you definitely want to be able to run units who can definitely use the brave that he's handing out. Like because we are in global, we have core. Core and Firion should really be able to destroy some things.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just happy to have Firion back for Boss Rush, if we ever get that again. Because, you know, anytime that we have to deal with tight turn counts, Firion comes in and crushes it just because he has a lot of off-turn damage. Like I've said it before, he does need a little bit of help, but like he's very, very self-sufficient outside of that. If you thought Locke's BT effect of not being broken is fantastic, with how much Firion batteries the team, even with his traps, it's a very, very low chance that you'll be broken. Very low chance. You can be broken, but it's very low. So when I think about the two, I know that, and I hope Asti doesn't get mad at me for saying this, but I really do appreciate all the things that Firion does do, but I don't think I'm going to chase his BT. I honestly think that I would definitely be leaning more towards Locke, because again, as a Saga runner, I appreciate when my Saga character's hitting for caps, and I always try my best to hit the I always try my best to have the entire team hitting for cap damage.
No, of course.
And I do that, and Locke enables that. I'm normally the person who believes in debuff supremacy. I can actually start. Like with Locke being in the team, I can actually switch up my team comps more versus being very DPS or like being very, very debuff reliant. I don't need to be as debuff reliant, but I definitely need to be able to deal a lot of damage and be able to take advantage of Locke's BT effect.
Yeah, of course.
And on top of that, keep Locke's damage high all the way through. I feel like when it does come down to the two of them, I definitely know for me personally, it's not about the BT theme. It's about the BT effect, and Locke wins it for me. just gonna.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be honest.
No, of course. Like if you had to choose, if I had to choose one over the other, then I'm sorry, Firion, but like I definitely want that Locke utility this time.
But I mean, again, it's harder in JP because we couldn't read it. It's easier to read it in global, but let's be honest, some people still don't read, but that's fine. But either way.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
Reading is hard, man. I just want to be told how to press buttons. That's all I got to do.
And look, believe me when I say that even I have my moments where I just like, yeah, I should have read that. So don't worry, I'm one of them. Even I have my moments. So, but yeah, so you're going with Locke, 100%.
Yes. If I'm able to get it. However. Please keep in mind that we have a couple of days left until the global announcement.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
If you guys are unsure, if you guys are going to be pulling the Locke right away, I would definitely say get his LD. Like, if you can, like save enough for his LD and wait and see what the announcement will be, and then like just play it cautiously. Yep. If you want to pick up Locke's his LD and BT right away, like nobody's going to fault you for that. But I feel like if you're definitely going to be like, if you're low on resources and you want to check yourself before you really go investment on it, we don't know what the global announcement's going to be, but generally the global announcements can be either make or break. There are people who skip core, and I've seen people cry over it. I've seen people who skip core and they didn't even need them. Like, but he is still very relevant to this day in global. He's still very relevant. So keep that in mind. But all in all, I think that we got a very, we got 2 good batches, and on top of that, we have Transcendence. And if you manage to take care of Transcendence while it's still going on, you get some goodies. So there you go.
So with that being said, though, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Do let us know down in the comment section below who you are considering BT plusing between these 2 characters. And with that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Make sure to check out Mr. Saga over here, Mr. Tactician, Tactical Saga Runner. There you go. That's your new title.
Hey, that's my new title. Oh my god, I keep getting titles, man. I need to start charging for everybody giving me a title at this point.
I mean, you're at the basement now, so you upgraded. You leveled up.
Oh my god. I leveled up by going outside and I touched grass for the first time in 6 months. Gotta say, it's nice to be outside.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Catch you later.